Hey guys, Christine here, and I'm just one soul dedicated to uplifting others. So I wanted to talk to you about burnout today. How many of you experience this? I know I have. And I'm sure you have too. You start a new project, you start a new job, you start a new relationship, and you're all excited and you're giving it all you got. You feel committed, you feel like you're in the flow of creativity, you're very optimistic, and you have this sense of purpose, right? You have this sense of purpose. Then suddenly, the awareness hits. The awareness hits that every day is not going to be an easy day, that some days are harder than others, that some things that you're working towards take work, that not everything always comes so easily, and a lot of times the energy out there can really make it difficult just to do your daily tasks. The environment can be a factor, the people that are around you that can be a factor, even your own personal internal beliefs and values that you carry can be a factor whether you realize it or not. And that optimism and that sense of purpose slowly starts to fade, and you feel like you are a little lost. You're feeling less fulfilled. But no, that is just life. As we're here, souls having a human experience, we experience a lot of things. And some of those things are, the ebb and flow of energy as it comes in, as it goes. You'll know that you're experiencing burnout when you start to feel like you have a hard time focusing. You're feeling a little tired. You have the inability. You're irritable. You might have a headache, and you may have lack of quality sleep. Everything just seems like it's just not working out the way it did before. So how can you deal with this? How do you deal with burnout? Well, it's important to remember one thing. A lot of us has been taught that you have to work in order to get results. The answer is yes. In order to receive results, you must put in work. However, you also must rest. Rest is equally as important. When you are allowing yourself to rest, what you are allowing yourself to do is rejuvenate and cleanse your energy, right? You're pulling your energy back and allowing because just think about it. If you ever go to a doctor, right? You go to a doctor and you have a surgery. The doctor will say, hey, you have to have this time off of work because you need to heal. The same goes with when you're expending energy. Or when you're healing emotional trauma, or when you're healing emotionally in any way, shape, or form. It takes time, and you have to relax and rejuvenate, which means rest and healing, right? It's bringing energy back into your body, bringing yourself back into being whole and full of energy. But there's another key thing, is not just rest, that you have to come back to the remembering why you're doing the things that you're doing. Finding the joy in the journey. Remember, sometimes when we get so caught up and focused on the task, we forget the why we are doing things, and that can drain our energy, and that can keep us from really being in a place of understanding, like, hey, I'm doing this because I love this and it's part of what I'm here to do. We can get so focused sometimes that it's a mission and you have to complete it, that you forget to enjoy it. Because remember, ultimately you're here to live your best life, and part of living your best life is enjoying the journey and enjoying the job that you're doing. So allow yourself to focus on that. Not everything is going to come easy. So how do you deal with burnout? You allow yourself to rest, right? You allow yourself to rest. You allow yourself to find sanctuary. And by doing so, what you do is when you put it down for a second, it allows you and allow yourself to take a step away. You're going to find that you suddenly might just want to go back to it because it'll be the right time, or you'll go back and the problem wasn't as difficult as it was being made out to be, because you are so focused on finding the answer. When you allow yourself that time to step back, you're going to find it's going to allow the flow to happen more. But this is important. Rest is important when you're experiencing burnout. Also, when you're experiencing burnout, you want to check your environment. Is your environment conducive to what you are trying to do? Does it support what you are trying to create? The other thing is, and this could be people, places, or things. People, places, or things. And then another thing you want to do is, are you allowing yourself to see the successes that you have, no matter how big or how small? Because remember, It's not always about how fast you get there. It's about the growth in the process, because the growth in the process is where you're learning and you're building that foundation of what you're trying to do in anything, relationship, career, self-care, whatever it is. That's why it's so important that you make sure, no matter where you're at in any project, that your self-care routine is solid, because on those days where things seem to be going crazy and the energy is shifting, or you are dealing with things that are throwing you out of balance, your self-care routine is what you come back to, because it helps you get refocused. It allows you to come back in and rest and rejuvenate. So if you are experiencing this right now, know that right now there's a big energy shift going on for a lot of people, and a lot of people are being asked to really allow themselves to understand that it doesn't matter how hard you work sometimes, but it is also about, let me rephrase that. It's not about continuous effort. It's about the awareness of knowing when something is, you're being met with a block, to take a time out. Does that make sense? To not continue to try to forge ahead. The effort will be continuous, but the forging ahead in the effort is what I'm trying to say. I think that makes more sense of what I'm getting. So what I suggest, if you are experiencing these symptoms, is to allow yourself to take a step back, allow yourself to rest, and then allow yourself to re-engage a little bit later. You'll feel the nudge by your intuition when it's time to re-engage. Allow yourself to find the joy in the journey. Do things because you enjoy them and because you want to do them, and you can show up 100% of your energy. When you're doing it because you're trying to force it, you are actually stopping yourself and hindering yourself from being able to show up fully. I hope this message finds you doing well. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below if you haven't. And it's just a conversation between you and me about the world you see.